Hey team, what's happening? Can you hear me? I was chatting away to myself for like 2 minutes before I realised I was on mute. I've gone a little bit early, team, because I saw there were a few of you in the chat, so I was ready. So I thought, let's go. You can see the stream and everything? You can obviously hear me all good. Swinado confirmed. Damn, Pixel Pirate, Mr. Worldwide. Belgium, whereabouts in Belgium are you, my friend? The camera's a bit blurry. I'll just clean the lens, 2 seconds. Yeah, it's weird. The camera's a bit blurry, isn't it? But it's fine in my streaming software. Anyway, hopefully it's just a laggy thing from the platform to YouTube, but hopefully it will catch up. triple Captain Bruno. Demented Soul. I love the ambition. We had Bull Terrier on last week who was pushing the triple captain on Bruno pretty hard, and I talked him out of it. And yeah, thank goodness he didn't go for it. But it's a bold move. Hey team, we're all in the chat. Everyone's here. This is awesome. Hey Angel Delight, how are you, my friend? Nice. Good to hear it, Shaggy. So we've got a few and already. Guy Sinesi was in nice and early. De Kuyper playing left wing and getting attacking returns for fun. Goal and assist. Yeah, he did well in Europe, didn't he? I think the one thing I would say with De Kuyper is just let's keep an eye on any Brighton signings before the end of the transfer window. I think if they don't sign another left winger, and maybe if Kadioglu leaves, I think De Kuyper could be a really good pick moving forward. And Jai's an interesting one. There's obviously a lot of rumours linking him away. I think Man City now are saying they're interested. Like, I avoided him for that reason. He obviously did well game week 1, but Haaland's going to score tonight. Yeah. Although Palace did look pretty good against Everton. That scoreline really flattered Everton. So Shaggy, talk to me there. You think there's a risk Thomas might not play because Pinnock comes in? Is Bobby Thomas not the Coventry captain? No, it's Grimes, isn't it? That's given me food for thought, Shaggy. God, imagine if I bench boosted and Thomas didn't play. FPL top. No, I wasn't planning on wildcarding game week 3. The wildcard earlier chat, I feel like, is getting stronger and stronger. We need to go through at least another game week before an earlier wildcard. I would consider it. I've still got the wildcard 6 kind of in that middle term horizon. And that could be brought forward if I have a couple of disaster game weeks, or if there are just players that I just want to get in. And there is quite an argument to suggest that if you sit down and do a game week 6 wildcard, a lot of the players you'd be wildcarding in game week 4, for example, are quite similar. So there's a bit of an argument to maybe wildcard game week 4. The only concern that I would have is with a wildcard game week 3 is that I would likely want double, if not triple, potentially Chelsea attack, and they're away at Arsenal in game week 3. So I don't love a wildcard game week 3. I haven't even looked into that as a day. I think game week 4 would probably make a bit more sense, but I haven't really looked into it, if I'm honest. If I have another stinker of a game week, then I might start reviewing it. So Pixel Pirate is in Belgium. That's awesome. Work or pleasure, Pixel Pirate. Angel Delight, we've already said hey. Triple Captain Bruno. Hey, KSE7EN496. How are you, my friend? Holidays in Lüttich. Been to Amsterdam and Rotterdam and now Belgium for 1 night. Nice. Sounds awesome. Hey, Simon Rutter. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Mohamed, you plan on bringing another Chelsea attacker in the next few game weeks? I think Mohamed, I won't until game week 4 because happy to go with just João Pedro for this game week, and then I won't because they're away at Arsenal in game week 3. But I think then from game week 4, don't they have is it Coventry? I think they have Coventry, don't they? Or someone, maybe Hull. But anyway, they have a nice fixture, I believe, from game week 4. So I'll probably look to go big on Chelsea from game week 4. The thing I'm thinking about doing next week is potentially if Konza starts on Monday for Arsenal, I think I might do Ballard down to Konza. Because firstly, I feel like if Konza's the starting right centre-back for Arsenal, that could be a bit of a game breaker at 4.5 million. I'd free up 0.5 million, hold that in the bank, and then I'd look to upgrade maybe Szoboszlai to Rodgers. Sam H, B9N. Hey, mate. Got 59 points in game week 1. Tempted to triple captain Haaland tonight. Is 2 goals a good enough return for a triple captain? Yeah, I think, to be honest, in a single... in lieu of doubles, a double-digit haul for a triple captain is good going. So yeah, 2 goals for Haaland would likely also then get in bonus. So that would be enough. Personally, I wouldn't be playing my triple captain, firstly, on an away game. And secondly, this early, I would very much be looking to target Haaland at home to someone. But if you think he's going to haul, go for it. Hey, Hauly, got some monster benching headache. Bench 3 of these. O'Reilly, Maguire, Ballard, Foden, Dewsbury Hall, and DCL. Yikes. Bench 3 of those. Chris, do you have your bench boost? I doubt, probably not. If you do, you should play it. God, that's tough. They're all got great fixtures. Foden, Dewsbury Hall. Oh, aren't Everton away? I'd probably bench Dewsbury Hall, Foden, and Ballard. But yeah, those are some monster headaches. Shaggy, from what I've heard, Amanda will be benched and Bobby will play. Okay. That's good to know, Shaggy. Shankly Mania. Evening, Hawley. Hey, mate, how are you? I went all in with game week 2 bench boost, triple Cov and Arsenal before free here on game week 3. Good luck, everyone. Yeah, nice one, mate. I think I saw you comment that. That was either on the stream last week or in the comments on my video. Yeah, good luck with that, my friend. We're going all in on Cov. He's more the favourite of Lampard since it was in the Championship. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he's kind of, Bobby Thomas does seem to be a bit of a favourite of Lampard's. Fingers crossed he starts against Hull if we bench boost. So now I'm thinking wildcard 6 just because the international break devastated my team a couple of seasons ago. Yeah, I think there's a couple of things with that international break. It feels nice. I wouldn't say that the fixture swings are great going into game week 6. Fulham have a really nice fixture swing. Chelsea have nice fixtures. I think Spurs have nice fixtures. Now the jury could be out with those guys still. But in saying that, you're probably, we're still going to want triple Arsenal, probably double Chelsea attack, and then you can fit in the other pieces around that. What I like as well about wildcard 6 is that international break is a really nice 3-week pause where I can really sit down and dig into that first 5 weeks of data. I think it's really important to see teams play at least home and away twice or more, because you can start to see like teams and tactics and minutes and the transfer window would have closed, and the new signings would have settled into the league, so you can kind of get a sense of how teams are going to be lining up. Spending those 3 weeks really digging into that and building an optimal draft, I think would be just really appeals. Books about Manchester City target Ilman and Joe at Everton value forward at 80 million. A player plays cheaper. Yeah, that's mad. 80 million for Njai. That's crazy. Ben Meakin. Yeah, I have thought about a free hit game week 3, Ben, if I'm honest. I spoke about it a little bit in my chip strategy video before the season started. I was more leaning towards that when I was tripled up on Arsenal defence, which ironically I might become, because I might do Ballard to Konza in game week 3. I just want to wait and see though, because Liverpool obviously got a draw, but they didn't look like unbelievable, and City also didn't look unbelievable. So if both Liverpool and City struggle again, I'm not going to be clambering for their assets. And then, I'm quite happy for João Pedro to play against my double Arsenal defence in a single game week. I think there's sometimes going to be conflicts. I don't know if spunking a whole free hit just to avoid that is worth it. But again, I'll see how game week 2 goes and then make a call. K7. But I like KSE 7EN 496. All right, K7. Sahil, Selverts to Shirky if he's predicted to start tonight. Oof, yeah, I can see the appeal. Shirky really was a game changer, wasn't he, when he came on? Poor Foden, toiled, and then Shirky just came on and just was like, boop, 2 assists, and Vert, oh my God. You've got to be worried if you're a Liverpool fan. Hauly, your camera looks like running at an open shutter. Yeah, I've got it at 60 FPS. I'm literally using the exact same settings that I was using for my stream last week. I just copied them over. It is weird. It looks fine in the streaming platform I'm using, but the camera on the YouTube feed does look weird. And I'll be very honest, team, I am not proficient enough. What does that say? 5. Anyway, it's less about my ugly mug. Zenith, hey Hauly, I heard White wasn't seen in training. Being an Arsenal fan yourself, do you think he'll be starting or not? That's quite an interesting one. I feel like Ben White and his his injuries are just crazy. To be honest, I think that's the exact reason why we bought Konza, because he'll probably move Mosquera to right back and then start Konza, or vice versa. And I would suggest that Konza will be very keen to make his debut for Arsenal at Villa Park. So I think if there's even a doubt about Ben White, I think Konza comes in. Sam H. Is Konza likely to start? I have him already, but I don't want to start him if he comes off the bench. Yeah, I don't know. I personally, I don't think Arteta's gone and dropped 50 million on a 28-year-old England centre-back, England international centre-back, to bench him. And I think, as I say, he'll be chomping at the bit to start and get a win at Villa Park. So I personally think Konza does go straight into the starting 11, particularly if they're unverified. I haven't heard these, but if there are potentially doubts around Ben White's fitness, I think Konza could definitely start. Yeah. Hey, Sabaninonda. I always get that name wrong. How are you, my friend? Good to see you again. K7, not selling Bruno soon. I'm going to give Bruno another week. I'm captaining him at home to Ipswich. But yeah, if he blanks again and if Man United look bad, I think his 12 million price tag is very hard to justify, particularly if you've got Palmer doing bits at Chelsea. Like, I could do Ballard down to Konza and then Fernandes down to Palmer or Rodgers, and then invest some serious cash elsewhere in my squad. Or I could even go down to like Mbeumo and then he be my United asset, and I've saved myself 4 million or whatever it is. Like, that's a serious upgrade elsewhere. So yeah, Bruno needs to start returning. Hey, Adam Malik, how are you, my friend? Welcome back. Chris, I use my bench boost game week 1. I've benched DCL, Maguire and Ballard right now as I want to play a 3-5-2 structure and can't start any of the defenders as I got triple Arsenal defense. Oh, yeah. That's rough. Well, no, I mean, these are good problems to have, Chris. Like, having a bench that strong is amazing. I think you're right to bench probably Ballard and Maguire over O'Reilly and triple Arsenal defense. DCL, Brentford at home. He's on pens. Like, you never know with DCL, but yeah. K19. Do you think I should start Rushmore against Hull or Kelleher against Leeds? I would start Rushmore against Hull. It's Rushworth, isn't it? Rushworth? Yeah, I'd start the Coventry goalkeeper at home to Hull, I think. Robert Doser, no bench boost. I haven't 100% decided, but yes, I do think I will bench boost. I think I will bench boost. Help, I need to bench 2 of them. Tarkowski, Reece James, Sharda, Keenan Dewsbury-Hall, DCL. I would bench... Who have Everton got again? They're away, aren't they? Away at Bournemouth. What was the other one? Reece James is at home to Brighton. Sharda's away to Leeds. Keenan Dewsbury-Hall. You suppose 2 of them. I'd probably bench Tarkowski. And by the way, Everton lived a charmed life. If Mateta could finish, like, Everton wouldn't have kept a clean sheet. I would bench Tarkowski and probably Sharda. Probably. Him and Dewsbury-Hall is a coin toss there. That's a really tough one. Would you sell Mosquera for Gvardiol if wildcard in game week 3? I'm afraid Mosquera benched early sub due to Konza. Yeah, Aidan, I do tend to agree with that. I think that Mosquera's minutes are definitely a risk with Konza. Someone earlier in the chat mentioned that there are apparently rumours, I don't know how true they are, that White might be injured, not seen in training in a couple of days. So Mosquera will likely play at right back, and then Cons will come in. Do you have someone else you could? Because if you're going to wildcard in game week 3, I would try and do everything you could to hold that transfer, because I also don't think that Gvardiol away to Palace is like a plum fixture to bring him in. Is there like someone else you could just play and then bench Mosquera if you're concerned? Shaggy, always wildcarded game week 4 this season. I will wait with it because never got it right and will always miss some players. Yeah, I think let's let game week 2 pass, and then maybe next week we can chat about wildcard windows, because all the bench boost chat will be hopefully out the way, and we can all celebrate Coventry's 3-0 win over Hull. And then, yeah, I'll do some analysis on like wildcard windows. But yeah, game week 4 does seem to be quite a nice one. Yeah, because Chelsea go on that really nice run from 4. Fulham are away at Liverpool, but you could bench them for a bit. Arsenal at Sunderland, City, obviously Manchester derby as well. Leeds home to Newcastle. Oh, it's a late kickoff game week 4 as well, so we could do a long stream in the morning. Hey, Colin Schlegel. Oh, sorry, there's a wasp in my room. 2 seconds. They're just super dozy this time of year, and they just love to come into my office for some reason. I haven't definitively made a shout, Colin, if I'm honest, mate. I think I probably will bench boost, and yeah, I think I'm just going to play it and move on, because honestly, I don't want the kind of mental arithmetic fatigue of having to like plan it as part of my next bench boost. I'd much wildcard, sorry. I'd much rather just like go for an optimized like 12 or 13 and just have a couple of bench fodders and then move on. I think, yeah, as part of my analysis for my video, I think like it's kind of same, nothing's really changed. I think Cov will still do well at home tonight to Hull. Hull were obviously really up for it. They got at a obviously undercooked and pretty vulnerable defensively United team. A couple of really good set pieces, and they killed the game off, and United just weren't at the races. I think for Coventry, they're almost a bit like, you're away at the champions first night of the season. They made a couple of rookie errors. Rushworth looked soft, I think, for the second, Odegaard's goal, the third one. But I think they'll learn from that. They'll have had a week on the training ground, and I think they'll be well up for it, particularly because Hull and Ipswich both picked up wins. So they're, now, they're off to a slow start. So I think Coventry will be really up for it. And the 2 0-0 draws last season are probably a good omen, I'd say. But yeah, it will be an interesting one. I'm actually out with the family tomorrow afternoon, and I will definitely be avoiding my phone at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Angel's like, I'm benching all Arsenal players for Coventry. Calm down. I'm Shaggy, oh my god, Isak from Pong and Verts should have never been bought. We needed to just play Szoboszlai, can get a centre mid, find a more defensive right back, and just stay with Ekitike and get a backup striker, and now we would have money for a right wing. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm obviously not a Liverpool fan, but I think in like isolation, Frimpong, there were questions about, but in isolation, all those signings were very exciting. But yeah, in terms of like a balance, Barcola would be interesting. What price do you think it'll be? Yeah, Barcola, I think he'd probably come in because it's basically Haaland at 15.5, Bruno's at 12, and then there's a big drop off. Is Palmer the next one? Palmer and is Saka 10? I don't even think Saka's 10, is he? Is Saka 9.5? Is he same as Palmer? Yeah, so you've got quite a big drop off. Would they maybe slot him in around the 9.5 mark? Yeah, maybe Barcola would be 9.5 million, for example. Maybe 10. Bull Terrier, what's up, mate? Fingers crossed we'll have a better one this week. Thanks again for putting off Bruno triple captain law. Yeah, no worries. Bull Terrier, someone at the top of the stream before you joined was like, should I triple captain Bruno tonight? And I was just like, no. Already talked someone else out of it. What to do with Njai on a bench boost, 0.5 in the bank. Yeah, what is the deal with Njai? Do we think, is he going to be mysteriously missing from the squad because of these links? I also feel like David Moyes is the type of manager that's just not going to put up with too much shit. I think if a player's like, I want out, he'll be like, cool, see you later. Or if they're not in the right, I feel like David Moyes would be big on mentality and being in the right mindset, shall we say. So if you've got 0.5 in the bank and you're on bench boost, I think you could. I mean, I think Keenan Dewsbury Hall looks really good. Alex, I think you could also look at Stack. Now, I was kicking myself with Stack because I remember how good of a like when he was fit and was playing, how good he was for Leeds. And I don't know why, but I just didn't consider him at that 6. I feel like I just got so locked in at like Enzo Lafy and Gross. I just didn't consider him. And Sharda. I didn't consider him around that price point. I'd go for, honestly, Alex, if I was you, I'd go for Anton Stack. Has Njai dropped in price? Because if he hasn't. So the 4 players I'd be looking at as Njai replacements would be, well, I've got Enzo Lafy. I think he's got a good fixture, but you'd probably want to get rid of him. Probably Stack and then maybe Tavernier. But I'd go Anton Stack, honestly. I think he's good for DEFCON. He's on set pieces. He's in a good league. I think Leeds are going to do well this season. I think they're going to be a very well organised, structured, hard to beat team, just like they showed against Nottingham Forest. And I think they'll be really good at Ellen Road as well. So yeah, Alex, I would do Njai to Anton Stack. What's my bench looking like? Yeah, I think I've already answered that one, George, but it would basically be Cov goalkeeper Rushworth, Sharda, Gross, and Thomas for Cov. So double Cov defence, Sharda away at Ellen Road and Gross away at Stamford Bridge. Start Ballard, Lafy, or Njai. I would start Lafy. I think Fulham will score, but I also think Sunderland will score as well. So Omar, I would start Lafy. Adam, benching headache, your opinion. Kinski, Calafiori, White, O'Reilly, Solis. Where's Raphael on the stream? Zolis. Bruno Fernandes, Semenyo and Buemo. That's a really nice midfield. DCL, Joe Pedro, Thiago. Nice. Bench for Bruggen. Tarkowski. Is that Anderson as in Elliot Anderson, Man City? And then sure, you've got a really nice squad, mate. You obviously bench boosted game week 1, didn't you? So you, yeah, if you're going to play your triple Arsenal, I think Kinski makes sense because they're at home over for Bruggen. Solis away at Villa. Semenyo and Bruno. DCL, Joe Pedro, Thiago. Oh, and you're no Haaland as well. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I honestly, I think you've got the strongest. Yeah, Shaw's a tough one. That's really tough, mate. Adam, honestly, you've got such a strong bench there. I can totally see why you'd want to play your double Arsenal and O'Reilly, but then Shaw has the better fixture. Yeah, the only call I'd make there is maybe Shaw for someone, but I don't know who. No, I think you're right. I think I'd stick with that. Honestly, I think I'd stick with who you've got, mate. Picks about Hull did a great job against United. Would you play Thomas? I think they will defend better than United. Yeah, they did do a great job against United. But I just thought it was really interesting digging into the data that they basically just targeted United's fragile set-piece defence and scored 2 goals. Like, they created a good XG, but 93% of their XG came from set-pieces. So if Coventry, who actually looked very good at set-pieces against Arsenal... But yeah, I tend to agree. I think Coventry at home will probably defend better than United away did. Guys, I see Gonzalo Garcia and Josh King was very good against Chelsea game week 6's Ipswich. Yeah, I totally agree. I would want probably double Fulham attack. And what I loved about, and actually Fulham as well, guys, Senesi, is Anthony Robinson. Is it Robinson or Robertson? The USA left back. He looked really good. His heat map was like unbelievable in game week 1. So you could have a really attacking defender, Josh King as a 5.5 mil, and that Gonzalo lad, because they play all 3 promoted sides in a row. So that could be a nice wildcard option. Pancas Peric. Hi there, could you rate if bench booth is worth it? Lamens, Mascara, Gvardiol, Thomas, Kinski, Van Owick, so you've got double Hull defence. Wirtz, Lafay, Szoboszlai, Bruno, Sharda, Haaland, Brobby, and DCO is it better to hold bench boost? I think that's a really good team. You could definitely bench boost. Mosquera would be a question mark for me, though. Because there is a chance if Ben White is fit, and you've got to remember as well is that Arsenal Villa isn't until Monday night. So even if Ben White wasn't in training maybe the last couple of days, they'll probably train again tomorrow and maybe even Sunday. Then they'll travel Sunday night or even Monday morning. Yeah, they wouldn't stay in a hotel, would they? Because it's only Birmingham. So if White and Konza play, Mosquera could get benched, and then your bench boost is diminished in its... so unless you're willing to potentially transfer out Mosquera for maybe Konza, I would probably just hold your bench boost if I'm honest. Sorry, Thomas, the Coventry against Hull. Yeah. What to do with Njai on a bench boost? I think I've already answered that one, Alex. I would do Anton Stack, mate. I'm just a bit slow. I'm trying to catch up with all the comments. Howley, you thought about the watch along so you can unlock your monetization. Yeah, I did, mate. I think I was talking about it on the stream last week. The problem is I I already spend quite a lot of time doing this as like a side project anyway. My wife is the most patient woman in the world and the most supportive. She's amazing. But if I'm typically, I only have enough time. If I'm going to watch any football, I tend to watch Arsenal, or maybe I get to watch like the 4:30 Super Sunday if the kids are watching a film. But like locking myself away, and then when I watch the Arsenal matches, I like to watch them with my boys. So like if I lock myself away and be like, sorry, I'm doing another stream. But this helps because like there's 40 of you on here now, and you've all watched for like an average of 6 minutes. Actually, team, speaking of helping, if you haven't already, could you just smash that like button? The algorithm really likes it. It helps with the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed and you're getting value, then please hit that subscribe button. It is much, much appreciated. But to be honest, Guy, I'm close to getting the channel monetized. You guys are just helping me by just watching and commenting and helping out. So I appreciate you all, lads, and ladies. You're all amazing. Thank you for your support as always. Cyrus, Homer Bencher, Kinski, Van Hecker, Van Eerwijk, and DCL is a good option for a bench boost. Yeah, I like that. Double Spurs. Oh, they're at home, aren't they? Spurs are at home? Yeah, home to Newcastle. Yeah. So double Spurs at home, Van Eerwijk and DCL. Yes, Cyrus, that is a very good bench boost. It's better than mine. So I would bench boost for sure. Guy, watch the Spurs games. Have you played very well against Charlton? Any thoughts on him? Yeah, I need to see more from Savinho. His output's been really poor. I remember I had him a couple of seasons ago, and he really flattered to deceive. But yeah, he's a wait and see. Like any player that's just moved clubs, always a wait and see for me. But what is he actually? Yeah, 6.5. So he kind of sits in that bracket around the kind of Sharda, Laffy, Keenan, Dewsbury Hall. So yeah. Chima, should I sell Njai? If so, who for? Bench boost this week. Really don't want to use any transfer, but have 5 Dewsbury Hall maybe. Yeah, Chima. Someone else is. I think someone who's also bench boosting has that dilemma. I really like Anton Stack. So you could do that, or if you have 0.5 in the bank. Like Elliot Anderson. You could do Zoles at Arsenal. He's nice. But yeah, I really think either Stack at Leeds or Tavernier at Bournemouth. I like. There's also a world where like Njai plays. I don't know how strong these rumors are. Like, are these rumors like very, very strong? I know City are interested, but he's had a lot of interest. Like I think Arsenal were kind of linked with him, and then he was off to Saudi first. And Simon, hey man, decided to stick to plan and bench boost too. Nice. Hull winning takes a bit of pressure off them, and they stay above Coventry. If they don't lose, Coventry will feel losing 2 on a trot. So set up for a tight game. Bench boost 2. Yeah, I in a way, Simon, I tend to agree with you. Actually, I think that if Hull would like they would be, this is a 6. I mean, it is a 6-pointer, but to your point, they have already gotten off to a start that they probably weren't expecting to. So whereas Coventry need to win, I feel like Coventry are going to be locked in. The home crowd behind them are going to be, yeah, I'm really talking myself into a big Coventry performance. But anyway, we'll go for it. How confident are you with this week team expected points? I think with a bench boost, I would like to see this team be 60 to 70 points. I think without the bench boost, I actually really like the lineup. I think Arsenal will do well against. Sorry, I'm scrolling around lots here. I think just looking at my 11, I'm actually really pleased with that. I think Ryan Calafiori will keep a clean sheet, or could keep a clean sheet with Villa Park. Ballard at home to Fulham. I think he's got at least DEFCON there. Maguire at Ipswich. I mean, who knows, United. But again, we don't know what Ipswich look like on the road. I think Rodon will do well at home. I think Leeds are going to look very good at Ellen Road. Fernandes captain. Szoboszlai at home to Forest, and then Zilafia home to Fulham, and then Calvert-Lewin, João Pedro, and Haaland away. I really like that starting 11. And then if you then like layer in Rushworth and Thomas at home to Hull, I mean, if that's a double clean sheet, like happy days. And then Schade and Gross. Like Gross can always pop up with a set piece or a penalty, and Schade looked really good and just didn't get a goal himself. So there's no one there that I'm like really concerned about per se. I think it's more just specifically the whole Coventry fixture, which, you know, we've kind of already spoken about. So yeah, I'd love to get 70 points with that bench boost. Yeah, Chima, you and Alex are in the same spot. Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Anton Stack would be where I'd be going for sure. Man City to 90. Force and Savio. Yeah, we were just talking about him. I think for 6.5 mil, definitely keep an eye on him. I'm not going to be transferring in any Spurs players now, but I think once the window shuts and he gets a run of games, like, could be decent. Paul Holmes, hey mate, hey Hauly, would love to hear your thoughts on Jackson at Villa. I think he's a good player, just making wrong decisions in the last 8. Yeah, I agree, Paul. I always thought Jackson is a very raw talent, great athleticism, like pressing, the runs he makes. I think his loan move to Bayern was a weird one, and I think Emery has tried to sign him a couple of times, and usually when Emery gets his hand on a player that he's wanted for a while, I think he'll mould him into a hell of a player. So I think Jackson is a real wait and see, but I think he could be really good. And how much is he? Yeah, like 6.5 mil. He could be an absolute steal. Like if you were looking for like another option starting, like when like, yeah, I'm not going to go into it, but yes, when Villa's fixtures swing, and Emery typically, you know, needs a few weeks and they might make a couple of signings, I think Nicholas Jackson could be a good shout. I'm very much aligned with that thinking, Paul. Omar, who are you going to captain? I'm going to captain Bruno Fernandes this week. I'm not going to overthink it. Yeah, Robinson. That's Anthony Robinson with 2 E's. JR1749. Hey mate, getting cold feet on this bench boost, but I've kind of locked myself into it. Kinski, Maguire, Mirahamovic, Calafiori, Semenyo, Mbuemo, Rogers, Solis, Haaland, DCL, JP, bench, Rushworth, Anderson, Van Hecke, Van Hoek. Yeah, just do it, mate. Come on. Let's just do a team bench boost, and then we can all celebrate or cry together. Hey, Jizzleton. Oh, 30 points. Firstly, welcome back, mate. Good to see you. 30 points. Oh, that's a stinker. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was actually just reading an article earlier about how you should celebrate points on your bench because it shows that you're picking the right players and they will likely go up in value. And if they're doing well, you'd probably want to be bringing them in, and you already have them, so you don't have to use a free transfer on them. Sucks that you don't get their points, but at least you can have them for the future. So anyway, hope that's some comfort there, Jizzleton. But yeah, that stings. That stings. Fremery Jim Bong. I feel like your name got me last season as well. I don't know what it is. That just makes me laugh. I'm a man of very simple pleasures. Fremery Jim Bong. I like that. Would you still bench boost with Kinski, Schade, Van Uwijk, and Amenda of Coventry, or save it later? There was questions about if Amenda's going to start, but yeah, like I'm gonna bench boost with double Cov. So yes, I would. Bulldog Baldwin, hey mate, do you think Bobby Thomas starts this game week, at least with Pinnock coming in? It's the bench boost week and everyone starts for a little weirded out as unsure. My brain says he's fine, and just to go with the bench boost. Yeah, we spoke about this earlier, Bulldog Baldwin. I think someone suggested that if Pinnock was going to replace anyone, it might be Amenda. Sorry, Fremery. But yeah, I've got Thomas, and I probably will be bench boosting. So let's go with it. J110, start 2 of Foden, Dewsbury Hall, and DCL. I would probably bench. I'd definitely play DCL. So it's basically a coin toss between Foden and Dewsbury Hall. I've got a feeling. Like, there's no way that Maresca doesn't start Shirky. And considering Shirky came on for Foden, is he going to start Foden again, or is he going to push one of them wide? So I think it's a coin toss. I think I'd probably just start Foden. See if you get any team news on City, and yeah, I'd start Foden. If you get confirmation he starts, I'd start Foden. Bull Terry, you deserve monetization, mate. Easily as good, if not better than some of the big channels. Oh, thank you, my friend Bull Terry. I appreciate you. Definitely not doing this for the money, but it would help. But thank you. I appreciate your kind words. Just chipping away. I mean, like, this is literally my second season doing this, and I'm still very much enjoying it. So yeah, we're close to monetization. We'll have a party when I'm earning those sweet $4 a video. Cov will keep clean sheet. Watch Man United win 3-0. Yeah, Bull Terrier. I mean, if Coventry kept clean sheet, United won 3-0, and Fernandez scored a hat trick. Happy days. Hey Adam Choppin, evening my friend. Watch your videos under last season. Very good tips. Nice. Thanks to hear. Yeah, I remember your name from last season, mate. Glad you're enjoying the videos, and welcome to the stream, mate. Welcome. Mandia. Hey mate, I really liked your comment on one of my videos. Leeds definitely look strong defensively. Didn't know how much it counts for. They put 4 past us, LFC, in preseason. Yeah, there was an interesting preseason game, wasn't it? I think Liverpool were like 2-0 up, and then Leeds just came back and scored 4. Here's Raphael. Hey mate, how are you? Good to see you again. Can you pronounce the name of the Hull City goalkeeper for me? Oh, we're not going to do this every week. Is this like around the world of pronunciations with Raphael? The Hull City goalkeeper. This is good. I enjoy this banter. Oh, he scored for. Oh, okay. It's another Greek man, I assume. Tzolakis. Rate my pronunciation, Raphael. Tzolakis. Is that enough of the z? Tzolakis. And Solace. Tzolis? Doesn't Joe start getting me 3 if he goes to City? Who knows, Omar? That's a great question. I mean, if they're going to spend 80 million on him, probably. Does he go straight into the starting lineup? Does he play off the left or off the right? Because I know they've just sold Savinho, so Semenyo. I assume Semenyo and Njai would start on each side because Doku's out, isn't he? So yeah, probably. If they're signing Iliman and Njai for big bucks, then yes, I would assume. Thoughts on Isaac or Vert's captain? No, Fremery. I would be. Yeah, I mean, probably Isaac. If I was going to consider any, it'd be Isaac, but I wouldn't be going near Verts. That guy's confidence is like through the floor. Yeah, maybe Isaac, but honestly, Bruno's a better shout. Haaland's a better shout. I'd say even Mbumo or. But yeah, maybe Isaac, but I wouldn't be rushing to a Liverpool captain right now. How much do you think Buckle will be? I think 9.5 or 10 million. Shaggy. I think 95% Thomas is confirmed. If nothing will happen until tomorrow, so bench boost is on. Let's go, Shaggy. If when he does go to Liverpool, of course. Yeah, Barcola. I would have thought it'd be 9.5 around Palmer's price. Palmer, Saka, maybe 10. Angel Delight, 0 deviation from the plan. Big bench boost incoming. Bowl chops. Yeah, let's do it, Angel Delight. Dotson Barcola. I know you don't go for the shiny toes, but he looks good. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I like to sit and wait for players to bed into the league. I think it's important to see where he's going to fit in and how he's going to look. But yeah, he does look good. I obviously would have seen him play quite a bit for PSG because Arsenal have played PSG a fair few times over the last couple of years, but let's not talk about it. But yeah, he's a great player. The one thing that was when Arsenal were linked with him that was the one thing that I would say about Barcola is there was a question mark when Arsenal were linked with him about how he can kind of unpick a defence like Kvaratskhelia can. Rate that pronunciation. Is it Kvaratskhelia? How's your Georgian, Raphael? Whereas Barcola's a bit more of a transitional player. But as I understand it, that's kind of what Iraola. That's the kind of football Iraola likes to play, right? He kind of likes to play a bit more transitional. So yeah, I think Barcola will do very well. He's a great player. Like he'll do very good. Possibly 8 million for Barcola. I think that's cheap. Ended up going for Aina last week. Got a really lucky clean sheet because of the early sub. Oh, lucky you, Raphael. Ended up with 73 points on the bench boost. Wow, fair enough, Raphael. That's a great bench boost. Fair play, mate. Mohamed Sharda against Leeds with a Leeds defense and attacker Rodon and DCO. You happy to bench boost that? Yeah. No, I'm not particularly happy, Mohamed. What I would say though is I obviously picked this team, this time last week. So I knew that I would be bench boosting Sharda against Rodon. But I wanted Sharda, and as I also wanted Gross, because their fixtures around the bench boost are also very good. Like Sharda had like nearly half an XG all to himself against Spurs, and he arguably should have scored. He had 5 shots on target. The bench boost chip is great, but I think the variance of the bench boost chip is like a average bench or a poor bench boost is 6 to 8 points. A really good one is probably 20. So that kind of 12-point swing, like, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's not ideal, but I'm also not gonna rip my team up for a single bench boost. I'd much rather just play it and get on with the season. I'm sensing that Barcola will be 8.5 just under Isak and in the Semenyo range. Yeah, fair enough. Charlie Birdstein, Mirahemovic, or Van Hecker. Kinski is in goal. So in that instance, Charlie, I would be quite tempted to like just go if you feel like the Spurs defense are going to keep a clean sheet, I'd almost just go all in and just double up on them. Who's more likely to keep a clean sheet? That's a tough one. What are the bookie odds on those, Charlie? Honestly, I'd probably just go and check those, and whichever the bookie thinks has a better chance of keeping a clean sheet, Leeds or Spurs, I'd just go with that. Cold Tibu. Hey, I think this is a new name on the stream. You're very welcome. Need a new 5 mid for bench boost 2 or roll and keep the bench boost for later. A 5 million. I mean, there's a real dearth of options at 5 million. If I'm kind of really honest with you, the only option I would suggest would be probably Gomez at Brighton. Yeah, there's really not. And that was why I struggled with that price point when I was building my team, because I had Gomez in for the longest time. But yeah, he's also got a pretty poor fixture at Stamford Bridge. So would I be bringing him in for a bench boost? Probably not. Cold T-boot. If you're considering holding a bench boost for later, I probably just would hold it for later and then wildcard and set yourself up. Raphael, 10 out of 10 pronunciation. Whee! Thanks, mate. It's all your coaching, so thank you. Adam Shopping. Ooh, I have 4 Arsenal and now maybe 4 City. Oh, nice. Oh, so did you get Konza in? Nice. 4 Arsenal and 4 City. That's hilarious. You're going to have to transfer one out, though. Hauly, are you still bench boost? Yeah, why not? I don't think Barcola will be any more than 8.5, especially if Gapco stays. Mazimili. I'm on bench boost and having Jai. Is there enough risk to swap to another 6-more player? Yeah, I'll be really honest with you, Mazimili. I haven't kept up hugely with the transfer links. Apparently Villa are signing an Mbai from PSG. Yeah, I can't really see much on Njai like officially, so I'm not sure. I can't really comment on that, if I'm honest. But what I would say is if you have any doubts, I'd probably just do Njai to... Anton Stack. How are we doing for time? Nearly 6 o'clock. Yeah, I think I'm still bench boosting. Yeah, I would do Manzamili. I'd go to Anton Stack. Barcola won't take pens. The most expensive, definite non-pen taker is Semenyo. Yeah, fair enough. I used to like Bacardi and Cola. Charlie Bird, Tone Imagine 8.5 for 8. I think I'll roll with Njai. Yeah, fair enough. Mandir, I don't think Barcola has an issue with breaking down defences. I thought his end product has always been the issue. Definitely not saying no to having him under Andoni, though. Yeah, he's young. And, you know, Andoni will work with him on his output as well. Triple Arsenal defence of bench or one. Ooh, that's tough. That is really tough. Bench one for Maguire. I think statistically, United have the best chance for a clean sheet, but yeah, that is tough. I think Kabir up talk. I think that's a decision you need to make yourself. Think about how you want to play the game. If you want to hedge, I'd play Maguire. But if you really think that Arsenal are going to keep a clean sheet, if they did and you were tripled up, that would be a real differential for you. Who do you have out of interest? Is it Saliba? No, not Saliba, obviously. Raya, White, and Calafiori? I think of rolling as well and accept the result either way. Chima. Yeah. Fair enough. Demented Soul. Aya or Shaw? Is that to start? I would start Shaw. I would start Vanu week this week. Swinaldo, most relaxing deadline I've had for ages. 67 last week, 20 of that was bench boost. Nice, you got a 20-point bench boost. That's awesome. Rolling transfer and starting 11 is obvious. I feels weird not falling around. You're in a nice position, Swinaldo. Fair play. Also, FPL Hauly, appreciate you reading every comment. Yeah, of course. That's what we're here to do. That's what I'm here to do. Chat with you all about FPL. No problem at all. McGregor, hey mate, good to see you, mate. Hope you're having a good start to your weekend. I am, my friend. Thank you very much. I finished work a little bit early, got out for a nice run, and now I'm chatting FPL with you guys. And then right after this is going to be pizza and a movie. So all good my end. Thank you, my friend. I hope you also have a nice weekend yourself. Jizzleton, who to captain? João Pedro. Speaker? I don't know who Speaker is. Is that a mistype? I thought Sangari was good. I wouldn't go and captain him now. So I'd go João Pedro of those three, if I was honest. If Haaland blanks tonight, I'm buying lottery tickets. Can't wait for Haaland 2 points as well. Yeah. Geez, if Haaland and Bruno blank again, fucking hell. Like 8 points tied up in nearly 30 million of my budget. Fucking hell. Federico. Hey, bro. Which two defenders would you pick out of these three? Aya, Rodon, or Hume? I would pick Rodon and Hume. Typically, when I go for defenders, I always go for the home side. Hume's the Sunderland guy, right? Kabir talk. I got Califree, White, and Mascara. Ooh, so Kabir up. I would probably think about. I just wonder if Konza's going to come in and take some minutes off Mosquera. I think personally, if Ben White is fit, someone spoke earlier about how Ben White apparently hasn't been seen in training for a couple of days. I can't verify that. But I think Konza comes in to play right centre back, and I think Ben White is the right back. So I think Mosquera's minutes are most at risk with Konza coming in. So just keep that in mind. So you might want to bench Mosquera and play Maguire. I haven't bench boosted, but I probably will, yeah. 700. I honestly don't know what to do. I played my bench boost last week and it went terrible. I'm sure that whatever I do this week, I'm going to leave 12 points on my bench. Yeah. That's FPL, mate. Sabani Nonda, you've just got to focus on the process that you use to make your decisions. The rest is out of your hands. A good exercise I do sometimes is if I've got a really tough decision, I tend to write down the reasons I'm making those decisions. And then when they invariably go against me, you can come back and read them and remind yourself of why you made the decision, even if the outcome you're after maybe didn't come to fruition. But that is why we love and keep coming back for more with FPL. Raphael, the community consensus behind the early wildcard was moving funds to expensive players, but now still depth feels a necessity. Do we need 14 playing players on our wildcard to get us to January? Yeah, possibly. I think at least 13. But I think as well, Raphael, with there being that real lack of like premiums, and there are guys doing very well. I mean, we've only played one game week, but there are guys who will do well this season not having Haaland and or Bruno. Because if you spread those funds well and you just rotate nicely around the players, I think like Konza, at least in the first half of the season while Saliba's out, could be a bit of a game breaker if he goes in and just starts in that Arsenal defence. Rodgers and João Pedro could be game breakers at 7.5 million. Like, you've got players that can score really well at very affordable prices. So having that spread across 13, 14 players, I think is definitely doable. Shankly Mania Swinado, usually that kind of confidence means at least 8 blanks, but I hope you do the opposite, mate. Adam Chopin, will Njai not play? I'm not sure, mate. Very hard to know. If he's getting linked heavily away with Man City, he might not be in the right frame of mind, and David Moyes might just want to take him out of the firing line and just not have him in the squad. No worries, mate. Thanks, Kabira. Appreciate the kind words. I appreciate that you enjoying the content. Thanks for joining. My dear, United supporting friend of mine says Bruno falls off this season. Salah-esque drop-off. Possibly. He seems very determined to stay. I mean, there's a lot I could say about Bruno Fernandes. He wouldn't be my favourite player now, but he's very loyal to the Man United cause. But yeah, there was talk about cashing in on him. And I think the other thing with Bruno is that one of the things, in my opinion, that has served so well for him is his, particularly last season, it was his lack of any other competition outside the Premier League. Whereas with United back in Champions League now, Carrick as a manager has, albeit I know he managed in the Championship where there are a lot of Tuesday, Saturday games or rotations or fixture pile-up, but like to go from the Champions League back to the Prem and want to be fighting on all fronts, like that takes a lot. So, and I think Carrick might have hinted that he will consider rotating Fernandes a bit more. Cunha can play in the number 10 role. And in the midfield, they've now got Baliba, Mainu, Tielemans, and that Santos lad. So that's 2 in each position. So yeah, I wonder if Fernandes could start to see or have his minutes managed, which then if you're, again, one of the reasons we were happy to pay a premium for Bruno Fernandes is because he's your 90-minute man. But if he's suddenly not on the pitch for 20 minutes a game, I'm not paying 12 million for him in a poor Man United team from how they've started. White wasn't at the training, but Bruno wasn't either. I guess it's more of a workload thing with them. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's early doors, lads. Fully expecting the 8 blanks. Yeah, thanks for the advice. Didn't help at all. Sorry, mate. That's all I can do. All I can do. I'm going to turn my mic off for a second, so I'm just going to have a little snack. So give me 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. And I'm back. So we've got 25 minutes before the deadline. Thank you all so much for joining, spending time with me. If you've not already, please could you hit the like button on the stream? Really appreciate it. And it very much helps me and the channel out. And I think you all are. But if you're not subscribed already, would really appreciate you hitting the subscribe button. Yeah, you too, Mundia. Thanks so much for joining, mate. Appreciate you. For some reason, I can't see this poll. I can just see the yes bar. Can I like pin that at the top or something? Right, I'm going to head off for dinner. Good luck, Hauly, and good luck all. Just go for the bench boost and get rid of the chip. Yeah, cheers, Ronaldo. I think that's where I'm leaning, mate. Thanks so much for your help. Enjoy your dinner. I'll chat to you soon. I could switch Fernandez and Isak to Gross and Haaland in game week 3, triple captain Haaland, but I still want to wildcard in game week 4. Yeah, that's a nice strategy. I think honestly, if Fernandez blanks again, I'd say there might be a bit of an exodus. What happens to United's? Yeah, Angels of Light. Best of luck, mate. I can't see the other votes here. I can just see that yes has 85%, so I assume it's winning. But I still think I'd want to wildcard in 4. I just don't think the team would be much different to wildcard 3. Starting to think I should just have stuck with Haaland. Hey, Simon Miles. I am captaining Bruno Fernandes. And I also have Haaland, so yeah. Hope that answers your question. Hey, John. How you doing, mate? Very welcome. So we got Bruno. No worries, Simon. Best of luck with that. Robert. I don't play bench boost because worry about Njai. He will not be in the squad. Yeah, there's a good chance, and I can appreciate why you might want to be a bit nervous. If you didn't want to hold Njai, I would go to Anton Stack of Leeds personally. Hey, P. Gillespie, back once again. Welcome, welcome. John, all good. Yeah, just started following you recently. Nice. Glad you enjoy the content, mate. You're very welcome to the channel. Bull Terrier, should I keep Zolis on wildcard 3 or move up to Saka? I mean, that's a big 3 million jump. I guess my question is, where else would that money go? The only thing I'd say with Arsenal is just keep an eye on who they're potentially going to be in for. I think Arsenal released Reece Nelson off the books over the last couple of days. I think they're like clearing the decks a little bit, and they could be a late last minute move. And I think Martinelli might be on the move as well. So just watch this space. And because if a left-sided attacker came in, I just don't know who that would be. But if they did, that could then impact Zolis's minutes. So I would just wait until the transfer window slams shut on, is it Monday night? Which obviously Arsenal are playing Villa on Monday night. Power and Deep. General thoughts on around price rises and when to watch out. Honestly, Power and Deep, I really try not to get too fixated on price rises. I think if there's a move that you really want to make and you've got the exact money, then keep an eye on it. But I think at the macro level, I tend not to worry too much around price rises. What I'll probably do is if I do proceed with a wildcard game week 6, I will probably hit that wildcard immediately as soon as the game week 5 deadline is passed, and I will have a list of players that I want to move in and out, and I'll try and get ahead of those price rises. But the others, I wouldn't sweat too much, mate, to be honest. I think watch the space on Konza. I think Konza's price will, if he starts on Monday night, I think Konza's price will rocket up. And I probably would move quite quickly for him. And I'd probably go Ballard down to Konza and just have him. Because I think a 4.5 million starting Arsenal defender, even for the next couple of months, is a bit of a game breaker. Charlie Bird coming for top spot in the league this week. Good on you, mate. I'm not going to be anywhere near it. P. Gillespie, you're not thinking of changing this week? Changing what, mate? I'm probably going to bench boost, if I'm honest with you. I'm just going to play it and move on. Adam Chopin, planned my whole team around a game week 2 bench boost, but I have Konza and Njai, bit worried, but still thinking go with it. Yeah, it's tough. I think Konza's got a good chance of starting. I think, you know, he's come in, he's had a full week on the training ground. He's going to really want to go to Villa Park and start. And I think he's come in to replace Mosquera. And Njai, if you are worried, Adam, and you don't want to hold on to Njai, I would do Njai to Anton Stack and then bench boost. Wanek. Hey man, welcome back. I'm good, thank you, my friend. How are you? Start Brobby or Thiago? Ooh, that's a real tough one. So it's basically Brobby at home to Fulham, but no penalties. Thiago away to Leeds, but on penalties. I thought Brentford did look really good, but I think Leeds are going to be good. Yeah, that's a really tough one. Wanek. Ooh, that's a coin toss. I would probably I would go on the side of penalties. I think I'd probably start Thiago, if I'm honest with you. But that's a really tough one. Really tough one. Don't think my bench boost will get any better. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I am going to pop my bench boost, I think, John. I think I'm just going to fucking go for it. Excuse the language. Mr. Cybersure. Hey, mate. How are you, buddy? Keep up the good work. Been watching since last season. Oh, that's great to hear, mate. Thank you so much for the kind words and the support of the channel. Appreciate it. Bench boost game week 2. Have you confirmed it? Yeah, should we do it now? I'll sacrifice Bruno and Gabriel. Pivot to Haaland. I should still have money for Saka or Palmer. I'll wait until the last minute to lock in. Nice. That'd be amazing. I'd abandon that bench boost, Adam. What to do with Palestra? Yeah, the Palestra's one tough, isn't it? I saw a lot of people got burnt by that. Bench boost, let's do it. Okay, I can cancel it anytime. All good. Bench boost active. So, the Sharda-Rodon conflict is not ideal. I think Chelsea looked defensively questionable, and Gross is on set pieces and on pens. How many minutes did Gross play in the week? Did he play the full 90? Do we know how many minutes? I really can't find it anywhere. Keep an eye on X for any team news if you can, team. Man City news. There you go, mate. I've just pinned the league code that you can auto join. Yeah, I think that's the thing, John, is like, although Sharda and Gross's fixtures aren't ideal, both Brighton and Brentford are looking really good. So there's like potential involvement there. I think Leeds are good at home though. So I don't love that conflict, but I'm also not going to like lose too much sleep over losing a couple of points on a bench boost. Like you can run the risk of like over engineering your team just around a single bench boost. And then you look like, what I like about Shard and Gross is their fixtures over the next couple of game weeks. So by having them, although they might not be optimal bench boost options now, I will be playing them over the next couple of weeks, and I expect them to get me points then. So it's trying to look a bit more holistically at the game. But anyway, what we need is a nice big Coventry clean sheet, and that would be happy days. I didn't. So Power and Deep, I don't think I said. I mean, I might have done. Feel free to clip it up and send it back to me. In my video, I think I paused. I don't think I went quite as far as saying I'm definitely holding. I think I said when I laid out the decisions, I would have gone for the right-hand option with regards to having more information. But what I'm struggling a bit with as well is I don't really want to have to wildcard and consider like a bench boost. I kind of just want a wildcard because I feel like when you want a bench boost, you then have to be lining up like certain game weeks and making sure that you're bringing in players that have good fixtures on this game week or another. I kind of just want a wild card with the freedom of going, who are the best players for the next 6 game weeks? And I just want to bring them in. And then I can literally just plan my 11 each week for 6 weeks and then just be done with it. So I could give you like 10 really good reasons to bench boost this game week. I could give you 10 really good reasons not to bench boost this game week. I think I'm just going to go for it if I'm really honest. And then the chip is played, it's out the way, and then I can just move on. Hey again, thoughts on captain? I'm 50-50 on Fernandes and Pedro. Don't have Haaland. I would go Bruno Fernandes. I am going Bruno Fernandes. ZX96. Oh, hey, Adon, welcome. You're late from work, but welcome. You've made it just in time. Stuck between Brobby or Sharda to start. Any thoughts? I'd go with the home player if I'm honest, mate. I'd start Brobby. Nice one, lads. Welcome to the mini league. Sharda's underrated an FPL pick. I had him last season, but free hit him out for this hat trick. Oh, that's an absolute stinger. Early days. Start Verts or DCL. Also have Isaac. Oh, that's a tough one. So let's break it down. DCL at home to a good Brentford team, but he's on penalties. But DCL can't really finish. Verts low on confidence. Liverpool at home to a potentially poor Forest team. Potentially, like we don't know much about them. That's a tough one. Yeah, that's a tough one. I think if you've got Isaac, I'd suggest you probably want DCL to start alongside him because, but benching Verts, that's a tough one, isn't it? Yeah, that's a really tough one, Salmon Lee. I'd suggest, what would I do in that situation? I'd probably start Verts. I think I would just lean towards the more premium. And I think Verts, we know he can be world class when he wants to be. Whereas you accept DCL for his limitations and he's on pens. So yeah, I'd probably just hedge and go for Verts if I'm honest with you. Adam, cheers mate. Enjoy your pizza film. Let's have a lovely weekend of food. Good luck all. Yeah, nice one, mate. Appreciate that, Adam. You have a good weekend too, my friend. And are we all bench boosting together, by the way? I don't want anyone coming on here next week saying, "Oh, I didn't bench boost," and lol at you. we're all in this together, team. God, I don't know if this is true, but someone's saying that Martinez is going to be on 400 grand a week at Chelsea. That can't be true. That cannot be true. You know, it's funny. A few folks talking about Savinho, but I'm surprised. And not Johnny. I'm surprised Marmoush hasn't been spoken about a bit more. I think Marmoush is could be great for Spurs. Play Lafitte today or trade up to Solace. I'm with you doing. I would just hold on to Lafitte. I wouldn't be trading. I wouldn't be transferring Lafitte out. Hold on to him, Colin, for sure. Bull Terrier, yes, bench boost. I usually do it in game week 1 to get over it, but held it for game week 2 this time. Hoping to finally crack top 100k this season. Nice. Let's do that together, Bull Terrier. Top 100k sounds good. I popped bench boost game week 1. Nice. How'd it go for you, John? Was it good? Enzo. Did I say Enzo? I meant Martinez, the goalkeeper. You know, the Villa goalkeeper has just gone to Chelsea. Oh, I tell you what. I honestly think I've done so much analysis on this bench boost that I'm kind of just like, I just almost just want it done now at this point. Like, don't get me wrong, if Cov don't keep clean sheet, I'll be pretty pissed off. But I'm also just like, whatever. But like analyzing the minutiae of a single fixture or a couple of fixtures with such a small data set. Just want to start getting some runs on the board, and we can see how some of these teams are going to be turning out. I like to get like 4 game weeks of data before I really start digging into things. But yeah, next week will be interesting. And as I said, I feel like myself included, there'll be a bit of a flurry of lads jumping on Konza if he starts. Yeah, 2 minutes team. So make sure you get your teams locked in. Is your captain all set up, vice captain, and your bench in the right order? Or if you're just playing your bench boost like me, you got it all rocking and we're ready to go. Oh, I'll tell you, a Coventry clean sheet would be very sweet. Very, very sweet. Thanks, Pico. Yeah, bench boost, mate. Bench boost. This bench is boosted. This bench is boosted. Team, if you've enjoyed this stream, I really, really appreciate you just smashing that like button. Always good for the algorithm. And if you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you all. Yeah, he's just gone apparently. So Martinez, because Villa signed, is it Suzuki, the Japan goalkeeper from Parma, I want to say. And like Martinez was going to Man United last summer. It was Juventus, and then so I think he's just finally got his move, and everyone can just get on with their lives. Good luck to these bench boosts this week. Thanks, guys, Nessie. Appreciate that, my friends. Yeah, hopefully it pays off. Deadline in 1 minute. Yeah, Suzuki. Yeah, he was great in the World Cup, wasn't he? Hope Martinez doesn't start. I have Sanchez on bench boost. There we go. Deadline has passed. GLHF. Good luck. Have fun. Cheers, John. Thanks for joining, mate. See you on the video. See you in the comments. I'll be posting a video hopefully early next week talking about how great our bench boost was. Thanks, Bull Terry. Appreciate that. Yeah, like on the stream is always appreciated, guys. Thanks, Cyrus. Appreciate you, mate. Good luck, Sabaninonda. Yeah, good luck. Have fun. Thanks, Pixel Pirate. Enjoy Belgium and the rest of your holidays. Cheers, Colin. Thank you, mate. See you next time. Best of luck to you too, buddy. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Sanchez had an absolute stinker, didn't he? I honestly think I really do feel like Alonso could really build something there at Chelsea. Without Europe, he's going to have 6 days a week on the training ground with that team. Thanks, buddy. Enjoy yourself, Pixel Pirate, mate. Good luck, Simon. Thanks, buddy. Chat to you next week. Yes, mate. That is the spirit. A 3-0 win for Coventry, a Bobby Thomas header, and a hat-trick from Bruno. Don't ask for much, do we? All right, team. I'm going to drop now. Have a good one, folks, and I will see you next time. Mind yourselves. Best of luck this game week, lads. Over and out.